Picture this. It's 11:58 p.m. on December 31st, 1976. Your dad's loosening his tie after 3 snowballs. Your mom's nervously eyeing the cheese and pineapple hedgehog that's been sweating under cling film since tea time. The telly's showing some Scottish bloke in a kilt. Everyone's crammed into a living room thick with cigarette smoke, waiting for bells that won't even have a countdown. No fireworks, no champagne, no Instagram stories. Just the nation holding its breath together. And somehow, it meant everything. What happened to that version of New Year's Eve? And why does remembering it feel like a punch to the chest? New Year's Eve in 1970s Britain wasn't an event. It was a national ritual. And it started days before midnight ever came around. By December 29th, there was genuine panic in the air. Not about terrorism or traffic, about bread. Because here's what modern Britain has forgotten. Shops shut down for days. Not just New Year's Day. Days, plural. The Co-op would bolt its doors on the 31st, and you wouldn't see the inside of it until January 2nd at the earliest. So if you didn't stock up, you starved. Or worse, you'd have nothing to put out for guests. And guests were coming whether you liked it or not. The buffet was sacred. Every household had the same lineup, like some unspoken national agreement. Sausage rolls from the freezer, crisps in bowls that would go soggy by 10 p.m., vol events filled with something beige, a block of cheddar cubed and speared onto cocktail sticks with chunks of tinned pineapple, all stabbed into a grapefruit or potato wrapped in foil, the cheese and pineapple hedgehog. It sat on every coffee table in Britain like a spiky, sweating mascot of the decade. And then there was the trifle. The trifle lived in the fridge under strict guard until after midnight. Touch it before the bells and you'd get a wooden spoon to the back of the head.
Hold on, let me tell you about the drinks, because this is where it gets properly nostalgic. Party 7. If you know, you know. A massive tin of beer that needed a special opener and served about 7 pints. It was heavy, it was awkward, and it was absolutely everywhere. Blokes would carry it in like they'd won a trophy. Baby cham for the ladies, served in those tiny glasses with a leaping deer on them. Snowballs, sickly sweet and bright yellow. Cinzano with lemonade, and if someone turned up with a bottle of Advocaat, they were basically royalty. Nobody had wine unless they were posh, and champagne, forget it, that was for weddings and people on the telly.
The living room would be rammed by 9 o'clock. Family, neighbors, that bloke from number 12 who just wandered in, kids running wild until they collapsed on the stairs. Everyone dressed up, but not fancy. Your dad in a shirt and slacks, your mom in her best dress, hair done that afternoon with half a can of Silvercrin holding it in place. And the smoke. God, the smoke. Everyone smoked. The room would be thick with it by 10. Benson and Hedges, Embassy, Rothmans. It didn't matter if you had asthma or were 6 years old, you were breathing it in. That was just how it was. Now here's the thing about 1970s New Year's Eve. There was nothing to do except wait. 3 channels on the telly. That's it. BBC One, BBC Two, ITV. And on New Year's Eve, they all basically showed the same thing. Hogmanay from Scotland. You'd get Andy Stewart or Kenneth McKellar, kilts swirling, accordions going mental, everyone singing songs your English family didn't know the words to but hummed along with anyway. The White Heather Club, Brigadoon, Scottish country dancing. It didn't matter if you were in Basildon or Birmingham. You were watching Scotland celebrate, and you were grateful for it. No channel hopping, no Netflix, no scrolling. You sat there, together, watching the same thing as every other household in the country. It was the last true shared experience Britain ever had. Wait, you need to understand something about the countdown, because this is wild. There wasn't one. No 10, 9, 8, nothing. You'd just be sitting there, someone would shush everyone, and suddenly Big Ben would start bonging on the telly. That's how you knew. The bells. 12 of them. You'd count them in your head, trying not to lose track, and when the 12th one hit, chaos. Kissing, hugging, your uncle crying for no reason, your mom yanking you up to link arms for Auld Lang Syne, even though nobody past the first verse had a clue what they were singing. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind, then just mouth sounds and humming until for Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne. Then the front door would fly open, literally open, into the freezing cold. Because that's what you did. First footing, the tradition where the first person through your door after midnight would bring luck for the year. Ideally, a tall, dark-haired man carrying coal, bread, and salt. In reality, it was your neighbor Derek with a can of lager and no coat on. People would be wandering the streets, doors open, music spilling out, strangers hugging strangers. Someone always brought out a guitar. By 1 a.m., you'd be in someone else's house 3 doors down, drinking tea and eating their leftover quiche. This is the bit people forget. The togetherness wasn't planned. It was just assumed. You didn't text ahead, you didn't RSVP, you just turned up and people let you in. By 2 a.m., kids were asleep in piles on sofas. The party 7 was empty. Someone's dad had his shoes off. The trifle was demolished, and the adults were still going, voices hoarse, singing songs from the war. Then January 1st arrived like a national hangover. Everything shut, and I mean everything. The streets were dead. No buses, no shops, no noise. Just the faint sound of someone's dad coughing in the garden and the bins overflowing with Party 7 tins. You'd wake up late. The house smelled like ashtrays and regret. Leftover sausage rolls for breakfast. The Christmas tree looking sadder than it did yesterday. The telly showing the London New Year's Day parade, which nobody asked for, but everyone watched anyway, because what else were you gonna do? There was a specific kind of boredom to New Year's Day in the 70s. A slow, thick, gray boredom. And yet, it felt right, like the country had earned a day off from itself. By January 2nd, normal life crept back. The decorations started coming down. The tree got dragged outside, leaving a trail of brown needles. The Radio Times went back to showing normal programs. And just like that, it was over. But here's the thing that hits different now. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't Instagrammable. There were no fireworks over the Thames, no countdowns in Trafalgar Square. No one was popping bottles in a club at midnight. It was just people in living rooms, together, doing the same simple thing at the same time. And that made it powerful. Because when everyone experiences the same moment, it stitches a country together. It creates a shared memory, a collective remember when. And those moments are rarer now than they've ever been. So maybe that's why remembering 1970s New Year's Eve feels like grief. Not because the cheese hedgehogs were better or the telly was magical, but because we lost the thing underneath it all. The certainty that when midnight came, we'd all be feeling it together. These days, you can celebrate New Year's whenever you want, however you want, with whoever you want. But that freedom came with a cost. We gained choice and lost the thread that connected us all. And the strangest part is, nobody seems to remember when we stopped being a country that waited for the same bells at the same time, or why we ever thought it was a good idea to let that go.